So this is the triggers section. This block lets you define triggers that let you start flows when an event takes place in an external app. So an example of when you would need triggers is that maybe you have a CRM app where after a client purchases a product, you want to tag them based on the value or some other property of what they've done. So if you wanted to trigger a flow in ManyChat based on that event, you would come and define a trigger over here. So let's get started with that. I'm going to type in the name for the trigger and type in the title over here. And so this title is what's going to show up on the UI. So if you define a trigger, those triggers are then available in the starting step menu after the app is installed. So this title over here is what is going to show up in the starting step. Now for each trigger, you can define a trigger with just this, and this would be fine. But if you wanted to provide some context to the external event that happened, for example, you might have a tagging system where you want the user at a different level based on the value of the product that they purchased, you would come here and add context fields. And these context fields are things that can be used in a flow, in your content, in an action, or even in condition nodes. So we're going to give this a name called purchase value. We're going to do the same for the title and want to choose what type of data that is. In this case, it is a number. So if I come here and click on save, I see this gets created. This is just one. If you wanted to have another, you could go create one, or maybe it's just a simple change and you just want to copy and use the same thing again. You could click on copy and create the same thing. And let's say that. And I don't have a context over here, so I can delete that and click on save. And you see that the second trigger also got created over here. So this is how you would use your trigger block to pass on events from an external app and trigger something inside ManyChat.